Hello. Um, Things may have been duplicated for a second. But it should be all set and good to go now. But yeah, let's continue on with Lost Judgment. When is charity stream? I'm announcing it next week, but it's June. It's the first Saturday in June. The official announcement will be next week.
You know how they say your life flashes before your eyes when you're dying? That shit's real talk.
You saw it all, huh?
Yeah. There I am, bleeding out. And suddenly I'm getting the 3rd degree from Matsugane-san. Back when I was still just a rookie.
I have a week to beat pause.
Hamura stares me down.
No, you have until the charity
Time
stream to
lose
beat
that
pause.
pinky. And then, Higashi starts crying for me. Oh, if I'm gonna go, I ought to get a better final scene than that shit, right? Right?
I'm sure it'll
You're
be
not gonna
rosier
die.
when the time comes for real. Glad you pulled through, man.
That bastard Soma, though. Next time, he's fucked. We could have avenged Sawa-sensei if it weren't for that stupid ambush.
Well, you didn't tell the cops about him, did you?
Had to
If
get
you
past the
if
state,
you
so
tie, I will determine a
with
winner.
the generous side of bullshit.
That'll get you busted, you know.
I'm joking. All I said was the truth. That I got knifed by the same twisted fuck who got Sawa-sensei.
In that
You
case,
pause.
It's only a matter of time until Soma's arrested. So for now, we'll go after Kuwana, the piece that ties it all together. We just have to find him before RK does.
I promise,
Kuwana, huh?
if you tie,
He's on my shit list too, just so you know.
I will do it in a fair way,
Kuwana must have had some sort of agenda back when he
and I will
first
do
met
it
us.
on stream if you tie.
In fact, it's probably because you were looking into Mikoshiba. He palled around with me all because of that. I'm just a sucker of the agency, huh?
I will do a roulette spin
I
live on
wouldn't say
stream to
that.
determine who gets it.
Still,
That stream before the
the
charity
moment
event.
it asks for me to kick turns up, this is the shape I'm in.
Just
Well-
focus on getting better. Tsukuma will stop by later, too.
You also have to win.
Sugiura gonna give me the cold shoulder?
He and I are off to question Mamiya.
Pause, your lead
Said
is
he tried to
diminishing.
shoot Jincho and everything.
Ryan's determined now to beat you. I am not going to give numbers because I promised I will not. I promised to not give numbers. But right now, Paz is in first, and Luke and Ryan are tied for second right now. Alright, let's meet up with Sugiura. Do I... Yeah, I should be fine for now as far as items go. To be fair though, if somebody is real dedicated, if some fourth other person is really dedicated, there is enough time.
Really, guys?
There's enough time if somebody dedicated just starts waltzing in and hitting the first button. Is your favorite champion? Cynthia, probably? Yeah, Ryan's is obviously Steven Stone. But hey, but I've tried to keep it fair. I have kept it very clear about when I'm going live at all times. But yeah, somebody could just sneak up and beat you all if you guys aren't being careful, so if you guys want to win, you gotta hit that first button. I will say though, after this reset, the next time it will be used, it will be the anniversary stream, which I am planning to try to make it a 24-hour again, with the caveat that if I'm like completely out of it,
Yep,
I can resume the next day.
Let's do this. If your theory is accurate, then Mamiya was involved in both Kawai and Mikoshiba's murders. And even if that's off, we can at least learn more about Kawana-san as a teacher.
So we'll see. There's also no set date for the anniversary stream, but I am planning for obviously planning for sometime in August. I just, I gotta wait to see when SummerCon at home is first.
Hi, it's Yagami. I dropped by with Genda Law the other day.
Not again.
I have just a few more questions I'd like to ask you.
You told me the last visit would be your only one. Seriously, why do you keep showing up here uninvited? Please, just leave me alone.
I suppose I should mention, I'm here today as a detective, not a lawyer.
So what?
And my partner here is Sugiura. He's with an agency called
You should do a
Yokohama
stream of
99.
P5R
Never
from
heard of
start
him.
to finish. That will never happen.
He's based in Ijincho. He's working a case. Maybe you saw it on the news? The murder of Seiryo High teacher Yoko Sawa, killed in her own apartment. You and Sawa-san were classmates in high school, is that correct? After leaving Kurokawa 13 years ago, Sawa-san moved to Ijincho to teach.
I'm trying to not make the first
you
button
still
such a
there?
big deal.
What is it you want? I haven't seen Yoko-chan since graduation.
I figured a little healthy
You're barking up the wrong
competition
tree.
will,
Maybe you'll remember Kitakata-sensei then. I ran into him at Sawa-sensei's home right before the murder. He was your homeroom teacher at
I figure a
Kurokawa,
little bit of
but resigned
competitiveness
after the
helps.
Mitsuru Kusamoto incident. Just like you, he appears to be connected to
At least
Sawa-san.
Ryan's competitive.
So why am I being singled out?
Believe me. But right now, we're here to find out how Sawa-san got mixed up in all this. You two weren't necessarily on
If
bad.
I had to say,
How convenient. Because that's a perspective I'd like to hear more about as well.
my husband will be home soon.
I'll give him my best.
Exactly. Thanks.
Hold on just a moment.
I just found a competition I have a chance to win, and now I want to win. I don't even care about the prize. Wow.
Wonder what's going on. You don't think she both... Should we ring...
Sorry to keep you waiting.
The prize is getting me to play
Your son home
something.
today?
Doesn't your husband help with any of that?
Excuse me, but you are in no place to make those kinds of comments.
Sorry. Didn't mean to pry.
Well, what is it?
Do you remember Mitsuru Kusamoto?
Yes, we were classmates in high school.
He jumped off the school's
What do you
roof
play
after his
once I finish
classmate Shinya
Engage?
Kawai bullied him. I hear he's still in a coma, 13 years later.
Weren't you going to ask me about Yoko-chan?
I was, but there seemed to be an awful lot of Kurokawa graduates surrounding this case. And strangely enough, they were all in your class. Kitakata-sensei being the prime example.
Hold off on
As
the
well as
decision
guy
for
named
just a
Kenji
bit.
Sawa.
Oh, pause is
Well, you're right. We were in the same class.
Pause
Would you
has
say you're all
ideas.
familiar with Mitsuru Kusamoto's situation?
I think you should play Xenolog,
Yes,
but
that's not a warm memory for any of us.
I understand. I'm sure it's not. Have you been in contact with Kitakata-sensei lately?
I haven't. He's someone I'd
Then you
rather
can
not have
replay,
in
use
my
different
life.
units, and have all the busted DLC.
Are you surprised that he stayed in
I understand if Ryan decides he doesn't want to buy the DLC.
No, not really.
How about the fact that now he's using an alias?
I had no clue. But again, he has nothing to do with me.
We played the Portal 2 we played the Portal 2 co-op mode a long time ago.
The groping was orchestrated, right?
Excuse you?
When Akihiro Ihara grabbed you on the train, you were in on that, weren't you? The whole thing was a conspiracy, staged to play out as it did.
You need to leave. Right now.
Dude, what gives?
No one would even think to consider a predator and his victim could be accomplices.
Just gonna
It's
afford it.
unheard of. But if it was to establish a murder,
Oh, I thought you played Portal
that's
1.
another story, considering how much lighter the sentence is. That way, Ihara got away with killing Mikoshiba, paying only a fraction of the price. But as luck would have it, proving it is going to require you to cooperate with us now.
If you don't get out this second, I am calling the police. I mean it.
It took me quite a long time to figure out how you and Ihara were connected. But once I learned Yokosawa attended Kurokawa, it all started falling into place.
You only play
She
good
was in your
games?
homeroom
Wow.
class. She looked after Toshiro Ihara. She was the link to everyone. But just before I could ask her about any of this, she was murdered by Kamurocho gang. That same gang has been hunting your old teacher, Kitakata-sensei.
What is it you want from me?
Lamia-san, do you have any idea where Kitakata-sensei could be? He may be Kawana.
Says the Magic player Jay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Sawa-san's murder.
I don't know.
Well, I'm willing to wager Kitakata-sensei still remembers yours. I'll prove it right now.
Oh, God.
I'm sure you know what this...
A Kurokawa.
We borrowed it from the scene of Sawa-sensei's murder.
You borrowed it. I highly doubt.
Ha!
No one sees it, Yagami-san.
The video? It's gotta be the
See
video.
for yourself.
No.
This was recorded at Kurokawa Academy 13 years ago. Feeling nostalgic yet?
It was well hidden. Your Kitakata-sensei had it on a USB drive.
Pause has me
He really
curious
didn't
now.
want this thing being seen.
Yeah, I don't know what she's on
The
about
most
either.
interesting part is the date. It's the very same day Mitsuru Kusamoto jumped off the school roof. And hanging out in the back, we see you, laughing and cheering right along with the other bullies.
Guess it's safe to say it's a good thing your family wasn't home. Wouldn't exactly want them seeing this, would we?
Has this video come up? Has Kitakata-sensei ever mentioned to you that he had it?
Yeah, he blackmailed her.
Please. Please delete it.
Considering the angle, I get the feeling that this was recorded in secret. And based on your reaction, did you even know it existed?
You know what happened to Mitsuru-kun. He's been in a coma ever since what you did to him that day. But still, only one of you took the fall. Shinya Kawai took all the blame. Well, sorta, being that he got fired, Kitakata-sensei took heat too. Still, you all just moved right along with your lives. You've even got happy little families.
Yep.
What? Are you expecting someone?
Amiya-san?
Well, I knew it would happen someday.
What do you mean?
It's the blue mask dudes. Oh shit.
Looks like she wanted some company over.
Finished Lycoris Recoil. I've been watching it. I watched 2 episodes today. Show good. Show's really good. I like it a lot. Week I've watched 7. I don't know how you can find the time to watch that many episodes of anime in one day.
Well, this turned into a shit show.
And would you look at that? Our old friend Akaike-san showed up to play a part. So you are all working together.
What should we do with them? They're the jerks who hurt Tsukumo-kun, right?
Break every finger on their hand, it still won't make you even. Come on, they may have more on the way. I have an old haunt in mind we move this to. And Mamiya-san's coming with.
Huh?
Let's not cause a scene, okay? I'd hate for a finger to slip and post this video.
We're blackmailing her. Oh, we're bringing it to the arcade in Kamurocho.
Hey,
We need...
you think this is your personal jail, Yagami? What makes you think you can keep bringing captives here?
Well, it's the safest spot we know. Doesn't it feel good to be such a reliable friend?
She love it. She probably will.
Higashi, be cool. We won't be around long.
Be cool. You think time's the issue?
What you call? We kicking him out?
Oh, quick bit of news, Higashi-san. Kaito-san got shanked in Yokohama.
What? What the fuck? Kaito Aniki? By who?
You'll know once we're done explaining. Let me introduce you to Mamiya-san first.
DMC's our girlfriend.
She called up her friends to come after us just a little bit ago.
Yeah. And I'd do it again.
I don't give a shit about that. What happened to
Pretty sure
Aniki?
it's Kyle Herbert.
You better have paid him back already, Yagami.
I'm working on that.
Fuck those RK assholes. And how could Aniki have let him get to him like that?
Now that Higashi-san's up to speed, should we get to it? I imagine Mamiya-san doesn't want to drag this out.
What do you intend to do with me?
First, you'll tell us everything you know. We'll decide how to deal with you afterward.
Then let's get this over with.
Tell us what you know.
Let's start with the video. Any thoughts you'd care to share? I found it on a flash drive in Kitakata-sensei's room. Or should I say, Kawana's. I take it that means he's the one who recorded it.
Yes.
That means Kawana already knew back then the rest of you were bullies too?
Yes.
If that's the case, then why was Shinya Kawai the
Ah,
only student going
okay.
onto the bus for it? Kawana-san didn't show that tape to anyone else?
We had
Okay.
no idea we were even being taped.
Pause,
We
clued me
didn't
in.
find out about the video.
I know.
Or the reason he sat on it so long until way after graduating.
Why
Yeah,
exactly
so why did he sit on
for
it?
so long?
Kitakata-sensei said he kept it so he could teach us for the rest of our lives.
What?
If that video came out at the time of the incident, I'm sure life would have been hard for us then. After all, Kawai was exposed online, and that would mean millions of yen in compensation for damages.
Yeah, but you guys could have wound up in the same boat.
No. At most, we would have come across as dumb kids he roped into helping him. We might have caught some flack, but people would chalk it up to kids and their cliques and move on.
But that's only how it would have gone if it had come out while we were still teenagers.
You're saying circumstances are different now?
I
mean,
have
yeah.
a child now. A husband, an upscale apartment. If the world sees that tape now, I'll lose it all. And what do you think would happen to my son? The son of a woman who drove a kid to attempt suicide. His life would be ruined. That recording is more than kids being cruel. Mitsuru jumped from the school roof that very night and is still in a coma today.
I get it. You have that much more to lose now than when you were a kid.
Same for all my classmates. Kurokawa Academy is a prestigious school, after all. Most
Okay.
graduates go off to great universities and land high-paying jobs. One started his own company. Others have families.
And they're all in your position too, huh? If that video gets out, they lose everything.
And
Exactly.
Kitakata is
You
scamming
get
them
it now.
all.
He waited for all of us to get what we wanted in life. just so he could threaten to take it all away. And when that time came, he started contacting us. Every student you see in that video.
When was the first time Kawana approached you?
5 years ago. I was out on a walk with my son when he came strolling up out of the blue. At first, I barely recognized him. His eyes were so hollow. Then, without so much as a word, he took out his phone and played that video. He's a psychopath.
Well, all you kids tormenting Mitsuru looked pretty psychopathic to me.
Oh, and you're so perfect. An angel who never once acted out of line. Never lashed out at someone weaker than you, or sided with the group to shut someone out. Everyone does it. We were just
Not to that degree.
Tape us, picking on some kid who couldn't take it. Why did this have to happen to me?
I'd say it's because bad things happen to bad people. You'll sling your barbs from a safe distance, but once you're on the other side of it, you curl up and play victim.
Yeah, you're definitely not the
So it was
victim
5
here.
years ago that Kawana showed you the video? Reminds me of something Shirosaki-sensei was looking into.
What?
There was this guy. I think his name was Shinya Kawai. Something about him getting snatched off the streets about 5 years back.
Yep. Yeah, it is Steve Blum. He's the same guy. He voiced this character in the other Judgment game. This character is in Judgment.
Then it was you guys. You're the ones who abducted him in Kamurocho and murdered him.
No, it wasn't us. We could never do something like that.
Well, you
Wasn't it?
kidnapped him.
So you're not denying he was murdered after all? Who was it then?
It was Kawana, I
Sensei
bet.
told us was to find Kawai somewhere in Kamurocho, and bring him back with us, no matter what it took.
Did Kawana tell you what he wanted with him?
He needs to be there when you all beg for forgiveness.
Is all he said. And if we refused, he'd leak the video. So we all went to see Kawai, but he wanted nothing to do with Sensei.
Considering he'd cost him everything, that came as no surprise.
But doing nothing would cost the rest of you everything too.
Yep.
Yeah, that lines up with what the local eyewitnesses said. So then what happened? Nobody's heard from the guy since.
We were
He's
directed
dead.
to bring him to a wharf in Yokohama. And that's where we begged for forgiveness.
He's also
After
white
that,
and
he
neon
said we're
white.
free to go. All except Kawai.
So you left him there alone with Kawana?
We had to. The day after, I got a message on my phone from Sensei.
What did it say?
Nothing.
To be fair, and look at the
Presented
first sentence of the
video.
about in the link I'm about to send you.
It was of all of us. Pushing Kawai into the van. Turns out he recorded what we did in the city.
Yeah, I actually played Neon White
You can
on this
see all
stream.
of our faces so clearly. How we covered Kawai's mouth as he screamed for help. Even if you know all the backstory, the video is a clear-cut abduction.
What?
As I was watching it the first time, another message came in. This time, a picture. When I saw it, I just went cold. That's when I knew I would never be able to escape.
Yeah, I played it before you started hanging
There was
out
a
here,
picture of Kawai,
Luke.
dead. Anyone who saw those messages would think we killed him after shoving him into the van.
And that's how he got his real leverage on his former students.
Since then, we've been at his beck and call.
No matter what he tells us to do, we wouldn't dare refuse him.
He's giving you orders?
That man! He forces us to help him. He makes us accomplices to murder.
Murder?
Jeez, Kawana is forcing them to help him? Wow. Yeah, we played it. I did a slow speed run of the levels like a year-ish ago. Let me see. When exactly was it? I posted it like 5 months ago. I know I had the day off when I did
hell?
it.
Murder who exactly?
Any bullies involved in suicides. That's who Sensei's got it in for. Anyone he can find across the country. He doesn't even care how old the case is. If a student commits suicide, and bullying is suspected as the cause, he'll turn up. As far as I know, counting
Oh,
Kawhi,
wow.
I think he's killed at least 7 people.
7? How's he doing this?
So his idea of justice is killing bullies? Across the entire country?
He said that's the only way we can atone. Anyone who drives someone to suicide must always face justice. Until society comes to terms with this, he says we'll keep getting our hands dirty.
Wow, this is fucked.
We might be able to save the next few Mitsurus before it's too late for them.
Not sure I should say this out loud, but I'm kind of rooting for this guy now.
Yeah, let's not.
So was the murder of Hiro Mikoshiba part of that agenda? We know Mikoshiba drove Ihara-san to suicide 4 years prior. That has to be why Kawana let Ihara murder him, and how you found your role in establishing his alibi.
Not just me. Grabbing Mikoshiba required a good number of people. All the people who pinned Ihara down. And even the ones who filmed it, they were working for Sensei.
Yeah.
So that's how it went down.
We had an unspoken agreement that we wouldn't directly take part in any killing. He just makes us his accomplices somehow. Like luring a target or digging a hole for her body. But the one thing we can't ever do is turn him down. If we do, he'll send his video of us abducting Kawhi to the police. And then Kawhi's body will turn up with our fingerprints all over his corpse. And we know that because he's hidden Kawhi's corpse in a freezer somewhere.
What?
Preserving one of his murder victims?
He just has Kawhi's
So as long as he
body.
has that, you're wrapped around his finger.
Sounds to me like Kawana's had one thing on his mind for 13 years.
Getting justice on
Sitting
bullies.
on that video and becoming an Ijincho handyman was all in service of his real motive, killing off bullies. He's dragged
This
all
is
his
wild.
fellow students into this hell, until the day it destroys every single one of you.
Is today that day?
We'll see. I'm still curious about a few things though, if you don't mind.
What?
There are these scumbags chasing down Kawana called RK. What part did they play? Strangely enough, they never came up once during your confession. So tell me, why'd they come for Yokosawa?
That I don't know for certain. But Sensei did reach out to Yoko-chan about 6 months ago over the phone. He was asking her about the suicide at Seiryo High.
The suicide at Seiryo High. You must be talking about Toshiro Ehara.
The lawsuit played out like no bullying took place, right? That the school wasn't responsible. But
Yep.
Yoko-chan was a teacher there, and Sensei was able to get the truth out of her.
How'd he do that? What did he say?
From Yoko-chan's perspective, she and Sensei were both just teachers dealing with students attempting suicide. I think that's why she let her guard down and told them everything. After learning the truth, Sensei believed Mikoshiba needed to be held accountable.
So if Sawa-sensei hadn't talked to him, Ihara wouldn't have gotten involved? And none of this would be happening in Ijincho?
Possibly.
No, this isn't right. Sawa-sensei didn't know Kawana's identity or his objectives. She thought she was just talking through her problems with a sympathetic ex-teacher. At the very least, she sure as hell didn't deserve to die for that.
It's not like we're the ones who did it.
Who is it?
Block number.
At this rate, can't be so sure.
Yo, know who this is, Yagami?
Kawana?
It's Kawana.
I heard you're looking for me.
Where are you?
I'm willing to meet you now if you come alone. But you have to let Mamiya go in exchange.
What?
Alright. She's free as soon as I see you.
Works for me. Then come on down to your office. I thought I'd let myself in.
What?
Gotta say, This chair's pretty comfy.
Pretty sure I locked up behind me when I left.
Listen, I'll only meet you alone. No one else. And don't make me wait long, or I could change my mind.
He told me to meet him alone. You can let Mamiya-san go once I confirm he's there.
You gonna be alright by yourself?
Well, he already knows Mamiya-san's with us. I'm guessing he was watching us from somewhere. And I can't afford to do anything that would piss him off enough to make him disappear.
You sure can't.
No. We'll take care of this end of it. Shouldn't you move your ass?
You should. Alright, let's go to Yagami Detective Agency. Alright, Kawana, I'm gonna come kick your ass. Oop, wrong direction, wrong direction. Have you ever heard of Deadly Premonition, Luke? Because that's kind of what the skateboarding in this game reminds me of. I've never played it, but I've heard a lot of it. It's kind of it's kind of very janky.
Hope you don't mind I let myself in. Now, are you gonna hold up your end and release Yui Mamiya? Come on. You and I can either try to make this work, or neither of us is gonna get what we want. So, you gonna make the call or what?
Hello? Yagami-san?
I'm with Kawana. You can let Mamiya-san go.
Got it. Will do.
Sorry about all this, Yagami. Why don't you sit down? Maybe it's time you and I had a heart-to-heart.
Well, we know his motive. We know his motives now.
Kazuki-san's recovering in the hospital. For now. Sawa-sensei is another story, though.
I can hardly believe it. She was the last person I wanted to get mixed up in all this shit.
If that's the case, why were you already waiting in her apartment? RK's top men were lying in wait over there to get their hands on you. So why was she the one lying on the ground? Answer me, Kawana. Was it because of you?
Would you feel better if it was?
How dare you?
You're thinking that if you hadn't stuck your nose in her affairs, she might be at home grading her papers right now. You tell me, is that what's eating away at you right now? Because if it is, you're mistaken. That guilt is mine alone to bear. It's my burden to carry. When I saw on the news that she had been murdered in cold blood, it felt like the whole world had stopped spinning to me. I would take it all back right now if I could. But unfortunately, to fix this, I'd need to turn the clock back further than you'd think.
You mean back to when you were a school teacher?
Yeah, basically. back to when I still had a little faith in humanity. Seeing someone's life get cut short, you never really bounce back from it, do you? But I don't have to tell you that. I did my homework on you, Yagami. It seems you were a fairly accomplished lawyer. You even scored a murder acquittal. But we both know how that ended. The death of an innocent young woman.
Yep.
You and I are the same. We both have scars. And they're the type of scars that never fully heal.
Oh, fuck off with the we're both the same.
Maybe you're right.
But for Sawa-kun, it was 13 years ago. The very day before Mitsuru Kusamoto jumped, she stopped me in the hall so she could tell me about how serious the bullying really was. Up until that day, I just assumed it was boys being boys, teasing. I figured it was harmless, that they'd get bored with it, and then they'd move on. I mean, come on. Kawai had to have been twice the size of Mitsuru. It's not like I'd seen any fighting, so I warned him not to overdo it. And eventually he would take the hint.
Well, according to what I was told, you smirked, actually.
Yeah, I guess that's what I did. I was too late. Sawa-kun had to point it out. Sensei, how could you be so blind, she asked. Her eyes were this piercing mix of pity and scorn. According to what she told me, nearly half the class was bullying Mitsuru. She said she'd seen him at the station. She made it sound like he had half a mind to jump onto the tracks right then and there. I'm not so presumptuous anymore. But back then, I used to think my students were my biggest fans. I thought I'd won their hearts and minds. But the look on Sawa-kun's face that day made me see the truth. I couldn't just go on smiling like nothing happened. So I decided to do my homework. The next day, I put a hidden camera in the classroom after school.
We saw what came of that. And we saw what came of that.
So you admit that you're the one who recorded that video?
Yeah. You saw it, right? Talk about the ugly side of kids. Hard to watch, wasn't it?
It was very hard to watch.
By the time I picked up the camera and saw what it recorded, Mitsuru had made his jump. I missed him by a few crucial moments. What happened in that classroom was the final straw. Later on, all the bullies were asked what happened. Each and every one of them lied. Kawai started it. It wasn't our idea, they said. To anyone outside of it, all they'd seen was Kawai forcing Mitsuru to do his bidding. So the people held culpable were Kawai and myself. The callous homeroom teacher who deliberately turned a blind eye. That was the day I began living my life with real purpose.
Was
So
killing
you couldn't
bullies.
forgive your students who got away with bullying. You went so far. You put aside your own life to make sure they atone somehow.
That's right. Mitsuru Kusamoto's still a vegetable. He's as good as dead. But I don't care. We have no right to forget about him.
You say that, even though Sawa-sensei ended up paying for it. I'll ask you again. Why were you at her apartment the other day? Don't dodge the question this time.
I wouldn't say I dodged it. But I suppose I should explain from the beginning.
Yeah, you have some
4 years
explaining
ago,
to do.
There was a suicide at Sawa-kun's school. It was her own student this time. You know this, right? A student at Seiryo High School? Toshiro Ehara.
Yeah.
When she was in court, Sawa-kun had no choice but to say there wasn't any bullying. Soon as she told me that, I knew Hiro Mikoshiba would be my next target. Of course, she had no idea about any of that. When Sawa-kun learned Mikoshiba had been murdered, though, she reached out to me herself.
What did she want?
She had a sneaking suspicion that I was involved in his death. She called me a few times, prodding carefully for answers. Quite the perceptive lady, really.
And? What kind of answers did you give her?
Probably dodged the
I denied any
question.
knowledge of it, but at one point, she mentioned something kind of odd. That there was a detective at the school already investigating the incident.
Huh?
She meant you, of course. A detective already knee-deep into the case, despite the police barely even knowing about Mikoshiba.
So Sawa-sensei was the one who told Koana I showed up.
The police are a pain in the ass, but when an out-of-town detective comes sniffing around, that's bad. I knew I had to act fast to get you off the trail. Although, Sawa-kun was a problem too. I thought I'd kill two birds with one stone.
And then what?
First, I found out where the two of you would be meeting up, at that little cafe. Then, I hired the Liumang to step in. But you put up one hell of a fight. They had strength in numbers, but you would have taken out the whole group if I hadn't stepped in. Nonetheless, my other message went through. At the same time, Sawa-kun was handed a photo of Mikoshiba's final moments. I left that task to someone you know. Yue Mamiya. They hadn't seen each other in 13 years. Sawa-kun had no idea.
It was Mamiya!
The lady in the sunglasses. Yui Mamiya was involved in that too?
Everything I did that night was intended as a warning to Sawa-kun. Although, I guess I didn't have to be so extreme about it.
Yeah. Sawa-sensei was too smart. She must have started suspecting that you'd had something to do with Mikoshiba's murder. After all, who else could have known we'd be meeting at that cafe? She'd have traced it right back to you.
Even if Sawa-kun had started to suspect me, I knew she wouldn't sell me out to the cops. We're too alike. The both of us lost students to suicide on our watch. That said, I couldn't bear the thought of dragging her down into the mess I started, so I scared her off, and I thought she would stay away.
Except
The day
she
was
didn't.
killed, she called to ask if we could speak in person. I could tell something was wrong. She was on the verge of tears the whole call. Then she broke down. I asked her why, of course, but she wouldn't give me a straight answer no matter how I tried to phrase the question.
So then what? Did you just waltz on over there? It doesn't seem like you.
Watch it. You don't know me well enough to say that.
Maybe. But I assume you had some sort of plan going in. Were you gonna confess to her?
Here's the thing. If she'd figured out that I was behind Mikoshiba, and it didn't sit well with her, I would have told her every last detail. Sawa-kun knew. I think she would have understood me. Or at least that's what I had believed. In hindsight, I think she was forced to make that call. Under normal circumstances, I'm sure she'd have rather washed her hands of me. Hard as it is to hear, I think she called me under duress. RK probably had her hostage. That would explain the vague responses. That's probably why her voice was trembling. It's tragic.
You mean it was RK? Why do they want you so badly anyway?
I don't know.
What?
If I knew their angle, I'd be doing more than just scurrying around.
You serious?
Believe me, I'm just as clueless as you are, much as I hate to admit it. Honest. I'm not thrilled that a small army wants my head on a platter. Have you noticed how RK seems to show up at the worst possible times? Someone must be pulling their strings.
Then we're on the same page. At least we agree on something.
Just a sec. Yeah. still over here with Yagami-san. You're not being tailed by any of his guys, are you? Okay. Then I'll meet you right now. That was Mamiya-kun. She said she's free. You guys have been true to your word. Tell Sugiura-kun that I said thank you.
Now you want to go? We still have some business to settle here.
Now remember, I'm the handyman here. Let me do the dirty work. I don't know what else to tell you. But you need to get out. While you still can.
Nah, man, we're too far in.
Into the night. I don't want to go busting my ass just to find you again. Before you leave, I'll need some contact info. A phone number would be nice.
Oh, no need for that. As far as I'm concerned, this is goodbye.
I wouldn't count on that. You won't get away.
Like, as far as I'm concerned, this is goodbye. Nah, fam. Ain't allowing it.
You don't give up, huh?
Ain't allowing it.
Leave me alone. Don't you have anything else to do? You don't give up.
Get away.
Come on.
You don't give up, huh?
You won't get away.
Now look at you.
Hold up.
You don't give up, huh?
Come on, Kawana. Give it up.
Now look at you.
You won't get away.
You don't give up, huh?
Hold up.
Yeah.
Catch you later. Damn it. Get back here. What the? Where'd he go?
He's gone.
Kawana! You guys again. You really need the masks? Come on, Kurakawa kids.
You heard that, right?
Kawana!
What are you going to do now? What do you think happens when he spills everything? Sounds like your lives are over, unless you shut him up.
But Sensei, you'll finish the job for us, right?
Huh?
Oh, he's even got a name to your voice. I know, I know. I'll be the one to finish it. You just knock him out.
Okay then.
Come on. What kind of...
Wow, okay. decimated.
Kawana! Oh no, Kawana! Really? So nice of you to stick around. Mamiya-san. Well, since Kawana couldn't stay, sounds like you're not out of the woods just yet, huh?
Yeah, so about that whole be let go thing, you're coming back with us now.
13 years in the past. Mitsuru Kusimoto plunged himself into a coma, sealing his fate alongside Kawana's. Ridden by guilt, Kawana sets off on a path of vengeance, and the bullies he drags with him are shackled to the shadows. However, Yokosawa's murder serves as a deadly wake-up call to what he's done.
Catch a tiger. We're so close. 3 more chapters to go, chat.
Hey. What are you doing?
Getting your identification on record, so you won't be a threat to us anymore.
What?
And I think you owe us after everything you've done. Expect me to come collect one of these days. Your carriage awaits, Mamiya-san.
Don't tell me we're going back to that dingy arcade.
We sure are. But try not to hold a grudge. It wasn't us who abandoned you.
It was Kawana.
Higashi, you already called Sari-san and the gang, right?
Yeah, I let them know what's up. They said they'll head over when they're ready.
Did Shirosaki-sensei say anything?
Well, she was pretty stunned when I told her who Kawana really is and what he's up to.
Sounding a little smug there, Higashi-san. Taking credit for the detective work you didn't even do? Back me up here, Yagami-san.
Back me up here,
Kawana got
Yagami-san.
away, and that's all that matters. Still, the task in front of us is finishing Sari-san's case. We have to clear up Ahara's crime once and for all. With Mamiya-san's help, of course.
Finally, I'm ready to get some answers. Well, we still got time till Shirosaki-sensei gets here. Why don't...
Huh?
Sure.
Yeah.
By the way, Higashi.
Yeah, Soma and Akutsu are out in Ijincho too. And they can pay for...
Make them pay?
That's not the Yakuza in me talking.
Isn't that exact...
Fine. Think of it as getting revenge for a brother.
I'm
doing the right thing, damn it!
You are Higashi.
Yeah, maybe
Besides, what's it matter if I was Yakuza? I've got my own code, and I'm gonna do right by me.
Hell yeah, Higashi. I wonder if, like, going to Ijincho and coming back will... Actually, I have an idea. Let's go to the pawn shop, because I haven't been there in a hot second.
Hey, Yagami-san.
Hey.
Shirosaki-sensei and the others just got...
Got it.
Thanks.
I just left! Guys, why the fuck did you have me leave? If, like, it was gonna be 2 seconds. Bruh. I'm still going to the pawn shop. I don't give a shit. I don't care what all this is for. I don't care. Okay, let's go to gear. I don't even know why they had me leave, but you know, whatever.
Really? You too, Genda-sensei?
Genda-sensei is here.
Am I in the way?
Of course not. I didn't know you still did field work.
I figured if they could pull a fast one on Saori-kun, I'd at least want to look him in the eye.
Why are all
Oh,
these
and
people
Saori-san is here.
What gives?
We've been waiting for you, Yagami-san. Mamiya-san is about to enlighten us on the truth behind the groping.
Good.
Oh, and I heard about Sawa-sensei.
Looks like she got mixed up in all this when RK was chasing after Kawana. But we're still not sure. To figure that out,
Exactly.
That said, let's start with the harassment charges, Mamiya-san.
Fine. Let's get this over with.
Pout all you want, but keep the answers straight. Got it?
Ihara's assault was designed to establish a false alibi for Mikoshiba's murder. So Kawana had you play the victim. And together, you pulled one over on the police and the court.
Can you confirm if this is all accurate so far, please?
Yeah.
The person who groped you on the train wasn't Ihara-san himself. It was his stand-in. And my
Kawana.
understanding is that he had conspirators to help him fabricate this event?
That's right.
What was Kawana doing at the time?
Didn't you hear your lady friend? Ehara-san had a stand-in, and that stand-in was our sensei.
You mean Kawana posed as Ahara himself? So this Ahara was actually Kawana.
Sensei and Ehara-san have a pretty similar build.
But some spots don't look right, like his mouth.
That part around his mouth is fake. He said he scanned Ehara-san's face and made it on a 3D printer.
Oh, huh. You can print things in 3D now?
Well, it's a machine that takes a model's data from a computer and prints physical objects using materials like resin. So if you were to scan a person's face onto a computer, a 3D printer could accurately recreate it.
That's ridiculous, but whatever.
But that's what Sensei used to become.
That's ridiculous.
Something like this. See, with a 3D...
Horonokisiki just resubscribed for 38 months. You wouldn't print a face.
Oh god. I'm getting a clip of that. That was great. That was I'm sorry, it was just really fucking
printer,
funny.
A piece of a face is pretty easy to make.
What the hell?
I see.
Fuck.
His eyes are hidden behind the sunglasses, and the seams on his jaw are obscured by the mask.
It's incredible, I must say. With the mouth area so visible, it's too convincing to think he's anybody else.
Good, we're getting the
And with
plot.
The prosecution assuming he's just another sexual predator, they fell for it.
This is no time to be impressed. In case you forgot, he had the defense fooled too.
I mean, yeah, he definitely fooled you guys
Assuming
too.
Kawana was Ahara's double, there's still some evidence I'm iffy about.
I'm of the same opinion.
Okay. Which evidence is questionable?
The trace element
This
card?
piece of the puzzle still needs an explanation.
Is that...
The police examined the trace evidence on Ahara's hands after he was caught, and from the analysis, the same fibers from Mamiya-san's undergarments were found on Ahara's hands.
That's right. If the stand-in was the groper, Ehara-san wouldn't have touched Mamiya-san at all. But the evidence on Ehara-san's hands suggests otherwise.
I take it there was a trick to this, too?
That's simple. Before I got in the train, I met with the real Ehara-san at the underground platform. That's when I had him touch the undergarment. After that, all I had to do was go to the bathroom and put them on. That's where the fibers in the trace were from.
Yeah, they. This is wild.
Was exactly what we wanted them to find, and it would serve as hard proof he grabbed me. The cords really ate it up. It was hard not to laugh sometimes, to be honest.
You're really starting to open up. That's the spirit.
This is literally ridiculous.
How about this then?
And this it?
Before the incident, Ahara used this card to go through the ticket gate at Ikebukuro.
Right, and it was on October 7th at 7:43 a.m.
Thanks, Hoshino-kun.
Happy to help, Yagami-san.
At the earliest, Mikoshiba's time of death would have been 7:30 a.m. If Ahara killed Mikoshiba in Ijincho, he would have only had 13 minutes to get to Ikebukuro. And frankly, that's impossible.
That's what's stumping you?
Huh?
Sensei borrowed the card from Ehara-san beforehand and passed through the gate. Afterward, he slipped it back to Ehara-san when they switched places. That way, Ehara-san ended up having the time-stamped card on him. Makes sense now?
So even the entry time through the ticket gate was used as part of the alibi?
It all seems so obvious now that I hear it. Nobody'd suspect that a groping was being used as an alibi for murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
On top of
ridiculous.
all that, no one
And,
knew
like,
Mikoshiba had been killed during the trial.
it's not good.
Really pulled it
This is
off.
real bad. This sucks.
Anything
This is
else?
real bad. This is real bad.
Can you take a closer look at this?
That's the Ike.
Kawano was pretending to be Ahara. Then Kawano was also the man in the video before he got on the train, correct?
Right.
This came up. So the guy in the back is Kawano.
Yes. And he actually didn't lay a finger on me. His prince couldn't show up.
Sounds like he had a hell of a time getting this set up.
I didn't. But Sensei sure did.
How about this then?
What's this?
We made a diagram of Shinjuku Station. The platform's packed with cameras, but take a closer look and you'll notice a small blind spot.
We've all been looking into it. So, let's say if that was the case, then after Ahara had his stand-in do the deed, they would have swapped at this blind spot. Sound about right?
Is I give up what you're looking for? You
Any thoughts after seeing this?
Stop it.
You're gonna look away? You aided and abetted by playing the victim, didn't you?
I mean, yes,
Who put this video up on the internet?
Sensei did. He said from the start that once Ehara-san got his guilty verdict, he'd
Yeah,
upload
so
it
they
to
were
the
working
internet.
together the whole time. That's all.
That was all part of the plan.
Yeah. Sensei can't forgive the law for how easy it lets off bullies. His son's death was brushed aside. The court blamed his suicide on unknown factors.
Unknown
And that's what led
factors.
them to his whole plan. The real victim is some bully who never got what he deserved, and the killer gets off in court by being convicted of battery. How would the public respond after finding out they'd gamed the law like that?
So Kawana and Ahara's real plan was to make a mockery out of the justice system.
Seems to be going well for them. The courts are beside themselves for dragging the police into this.
I guess Ahara really was desperate. He was never concerned about his own punishment. He tarnished his own name to humiliate the law.
Yeah, he didn't actually care what
Yeah,
he went through for
Cop
it.
or not, nobody took responsibility for his son's death. And the courts all but ignored his case. No wonder he went along with Kawana.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Sensei and Ehara-san are the perfect pair with nothing to lose. The only ones who do are the ones forced to comply. Us.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, are we done here yet?
Yagami-san, you sure that's enough?
Yeah, I think we've got plenty. Bottom line, groping was a fabrication. At the very least, we know that the prosecution's evidence can all be refuted.
The courts were being intentionally misled. I'm considering filing an appeal.
Are you saying you want a retrial?
I am. We'll reveal Ahara and Kuwana's plot and overturn the verdict they issued.
That might be harder than it sounds.
Why do you say that, Genda-sensei?
Well,
They have to prove it.
previous trial resulted in Ahara being found guilty, right? As the client, if he doesn't want an appeal, there's no way you're getting one. Doesn't matter what any lawyer tries to do. If Ahara refuses to appeal, then that's that.
Then we'll talk to him tomorrow. First, we need to see how he reacts to everything we've got on him.
Sounds good. Then let's meet at the detention center tomorrow.
Will do.
So, we done for the night?
Sure are. Great job, everyone. Go get some rest.
Yo, Yagami. You sure it was cool to let that Mamiya chick just go home?
Yeah? Why?
I mean, she helped Kuwana kill all those people. Aren't you gonna turn her in or something?
I
Can't
would.
really turn her
There's
in.
nothing we can do.
Nothing we can do?
Frankly, we don't have any proof of the murder she was talking about.
What, so this is all for nothing?
Nothing directly pointing to Mamiya, anyway. Aside from Mikoshiba, no other bodies turned up. Which means all we can do is take her home, right? Sugiura is making sure she gets back.
I'm so happy Higashi made an appearance in this game.
Forget it. Why are you still here? Everyone else went home already.
Come on, man. Why the cold shoulder? Am I really that annoying?
You wouldn't be the guy I'd call to hang out with. So if you're done, then go.
Steve Blum!
Straight for the jugular, huh?
Any
Yeah.
help you need, I'll be there. But only if you bow your head and ask.
He's so rude.
Then I'll consider it.
I know
When
for
he
a fact
heard
you'd help me out
when
regardless.
he heard that when he heard that
Thanks for the drink.
Dude, come on. That was your cue to bow and ask nice.
when he heard that Kaito was stabbed, he's like, "Let me get those fuckers." It was great. You're just like, let me pay the back for stabbing my Aniki. They're just like, dude, you're not a Yakuza anymore. You can't be talking like that. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not a Yakuza anymore. They stabbed my Aniki. He's a total bro. We stand Hagashi. And he's not a major character, meaning he can't die in this game. Now I've just fucking damned him to death. That was a weird glitch. That was a bit of a weird glitch. Famous last words, right? He's not a major character, therefore he can't die. Famous last words. I am playing the PS5 version on PS5. There hasn't really been a lot of glitches. Yeah, just the PS5 and PS4 versions were weirdly enough the same exact price when I bought it, so... Oh wait, other way. So it's just like, yeah, I might as well. I did also get Octopath 2 from that buy one get one GameStop deal. So the current Judgment PS4 playing on PS5 with wild graphical glitches. I encountered 3 of them. I didn't really encounter that many playing the PS5 version of Judgment on PS5. I've had 2 in this game so far. I had that one that we just had where he kept skating even though I had interacted with the door. And then I had one where he just like...
So, you're recommending an appeal?
I have I have 2 zips.
Evidence come to light?
Yui Mamiya told us some things. Like how you faked your alibi for Mikoshiba's murder.
Like 2 zip glitches is how I would describe it that I've had.
Your goal was to avenge your son and humiliate the law on a grand scale.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ahara-san, we have a much better grasp of the situation than you think.
And what exactly have you grasped?
Like Yagami-san just said, you're innocent. As far as the harassment goes. As
You're
your lawyer,
guilty of
I'll file an
murder.
appeal, and we'll make sure the world knows it.
Thanks, but no. I'm scum of the earth. A pervert. The prosecution and the judge made that very clear in the verdict.
On the day of the crime, October 7th, at around 6:30 a.m., you were in Ijincho, not Tokyo.
Baloney. I was relaxing at home.
Except that you weren't.
Oh?
You wanted to give the man who pushed your son to suicide the beating of a lifetime. And you'd miss out on that opportunity if you were at home, which is why you were in Ijincho instead. Isn't that right?
He's not going to gun for it.
His former student staked out Mikoshiba's house until he left. Then you dragged your prey into a car and brought him to an abandoned building in Ijincho, which would later become a murder scene. Every bone on Mikoshiba's fingers was broken. Remembering how he pushed Toshiro-kun to his death, it's no wonder you'd go that far. You tortured Mikoshiba without a shred of remorse. You inflicted no small amount of pain and terror.
Yep.
There's no way you weren't there, and I'd put my money on that.
And then...
You need the whole play-by-play? Even though you already know it?
Oh, not at all. I'm just fascinated by this outrageous little story.
Use a piece of evidence to show what you did next to beating up Mikoshiba. You fucking killed him, you bastard.
As for what you did next after beating Mikoshiba.
It's quite a home video.
Without leaving anything on Mikoshiba's body that could be traced back to you, you slit his throat. Estimated time of death was around 7:30 a.m. on October 7th.
Like, all he needed to do?
And made your way to Ikebukuro Station, where Yui...
All he needed to do.
Are you sure? I was at Ikebukuro by 7:30 a.m. Would have been impossible for me to kill Mikoshiba and Ijincho.
All he needed to do was not record the video of him killing Mikoshiba. Like, no fucking way this holds up.
Or maybe you know him by a different name. Former high school teacher Yu Kitakata. So which name did he give you?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Of course you don't.
Kawana in view of the security camera, you met up with Yui Mamiya at Ikebukuro first. That's where you touched the undergarments she had prepared. The police would later discover the trace evidence on your hands and pin the groping on you. Then you made your way to Shinjuku Station. After that, Mamiya and Kawana acted out the groping as they arrived at Shinjuku Station. Kawana jumped out of the train and Mamiya chased after him. And then, in the smallest of blind spots in a station absolutely packed with cameras, you were waiting for Kawana, who looked just like you. With the two of you matching, you were able to swap places in that huge crowd without anyone noticing. Kawana handed you the transit card used to pass the ticket gate. Just one piece of hard evidence that places you in Ikebukuro at 7:43 a.m. And right after the swap, Mamiya started calling for help. After that, well, we've all seen how the news reported it.
An active duty police
This
officer
is so
arrested
fucked.
for sexual battery. The public outcry was very clear. As a result, despite it being your first offense, you were actually tried and convicted. The consensus is that it was a fitting punishment for someone so heinous. Even as your lawyer, I felt the same.
Have some confidence in yourself, Shirosaki-sensei. The prosecution, the judge, and a lawyer like you all laid out the evidence in court and found me guilty. I'm in no position to doubt you. And I've long accepted the ruling that Toshiro was never bullied. There's nothing I can do but abide by the rule of law. Right? That's all I can do, right?
I know what you're trying to say. You carried out the justice that the courts wouldn't, right?
Yeah, he did.
Everything my son went through was passed off like it never even happened. School, the teachers, and yes, the court. They all dismissed the reason he died.
That's when Kawana came in the picture, telling you Toshiro-kun had been bullied. But was it Kawana's words that suddenly made you want to kill Mikoshiba? Because all of his fingers were broken while he was still alive.
What do you have to say, Ihara-san?
Did Sawa-san?
Sensei the one who told you the truth? She was the only person Toshiro-kun confided in. You had to have heard it from her, right?
Nearly hit the nail on the head, as they say.
Nearly?
After my trial, she confessed she knew about the bullying. But only to her old teacher over the phone. She had no idea she was being recorded.
What?
Kawana-san let me listen to that recording where I learned Sawa-sensei had been muzzled by both the homeroom teacher and the lawyer. That was the proof of Toshiro's bullying I'd wanted all throughout the trial. After hearing Sawa-sensei's words, I finally understood. They pushed my boy over the edge.
Was there no other evidence of the bullying? Like a diary of Toshiro-kun's or something of the sort?
Nothing. Toshiro never talked to me or my wife about the bullying. And that was probably all my fault. He was bullied in middle school, too. Kids would throw his pencil case around or hide his books.
And you did nothing as his
I heard
father.
about it. I chewed him out. They walk all over you because you're weak. Grow spine, I told him.
What a dick!
I take it that was the wrong approach.
What a dick! What an asshole! What an
How
asshole!
much courage it took for him to come forward about his suffering. I'm sure he felt ashamed about it. And I should have listened when he pleaded for help.
Yeah, you should
Told him
have.
I was proud of his bravery. But instead, I pushed him away.
You told him he was weak.
Toshiro tried to make sure he never showed weakness to us again, no matter how much pain he was in. He went to a private school out in Yokohama because he hated living with me. But in the end, he still suffered.
And that's
You're a
why you
dick!
didn't hesitate to unleash hell on Mikoshiba.
Yeah.
If you say so.
So the first time Kawana showed up was when he let you listen to the phone call with Sawa-sensei, right?
Yes. He approached me and asked me if I still wanted justice for my son. I was in uniform when it came to me, too. Very bold. But it paid off. I owe him a debt of gratitude. He reassured me he had already taken care of multiple individuals like Koshiba, and that he'd urged other families to avenge the children they lost to bullying. He'd tell them that simply being branded a bully wasn't enough. He promised to deliver real justice.
If justice can be served at one's own discretion, laws would cease to serve their function. If the law isn't fair to everyone, no one will obey it. The law is only able to help the powerless because it can't be swayed by money, force, or anything else.
Tell me.
The law is
what's
swayed
the
by money all the
solution when
time.
the law fails to punish someone who laughs in its face? To overlook those the law won't judge is to abandon those the law couldn't protect.
To render justice with confidence, you require sufficient evidence.
Some of the victims' families refused Kawana's offer of revenge, telling him it would be unforgivable. But even after rejecting his offer, not a one reported Kawana-san to the police. Do you understand what that implies?
Not even you.
Whether you follow through with revenge or not, Kawana-san presents a solution that resonates with people. Being that the law is unfair and imperfect. Am I wrong about that?
Definitely
No,
not,
you're
dude.
not. But we're fighting to make it as fair as we can. Laws have to change until they are perfect.
They don't change fast enough. Toshiro's death was murder by another name. Yet Hiromi Koshiba walked free. He even got to enroll in a teaching program as a student teacher. Someone like him? It's insane! I'd die of old age before the law was ever written to be fair enough. For Toshiro's sake, I can't turn a blind eye to a world where the Mikoshibas can live without consequence. Tell me, what alternative was there to getting blood on my hands? I didn't have any other choice.
Oh, he's basically
Yakum-san,
admitting it
did
now.
he just...
Yeah, he
This is the
admitted to
first
it.
time you've admitted to killing Mikoshiba.
You really did your research, unlike those useless cops. Kawana-san's plan was impressive, almost airtight. I didn't expect it to be unraveled so quickly.
I just got lucky. There was some dirt on Yui Mamiya that Kawana could have used against her. we hadn't found it, there's no way we would have gotten her to talk.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, but I'm under no obligation to tell you.
Ehara-san, you'll be sent to prison as a sex offender as it stands.
Of course. Just as I planned. The charges will be confirmed, and I'll be convicted. As for the police and the prosecution, they wouldn't be able to admit they made a mistake. I could scream, "I killed Mikoshiba" at the top of my lungs. It wouldn't matter.
Are you saying you intend to admit to the murder after you're released?
Everyone's seen the video of me killing Mikoshiba by now. It's obviously authentic, but the prosecution and the police are saying it's fake. They need it to be fake.
Yeah, of course they
If
need
I
to
do
be fake.
confess, they'll sweep it under the rug.
They wouldn't.
No, that's not beneath them. But I take it how they react doesn't really matter to you. All you want is to humiliate the law, don't you?
Oh,
Say
he
this
doesn't
is
care.
determined Toshiro-kun's incident didn't happen.
It seems you're starting to understand, Yagami-san. If the prosecution wanted to charge me for Mikoshiba's murder, then they'd have to retract the battery verdict. And that would mean admitting to a massive blunder by the court at the hands of a criminal. It would be chaos. Despite knowing who murdered Mikoshiba, no one would know what to make of the case. Wouldn't that just be wonderful?
I hear you. And I even get why you'd feel pretty proud of accomplishing that.
Do you?
But in this case, the guys pretty much grabbed the tiger by the tail.
What tiger?
Someone's issuing orders to the thugs in Kamurocho from behind the scenes. He's the tiger in this case, and they've been closing in on your partner, Kawana, and Sawa-sensei got in their path. I'm sure you get the newspaper in here, right? You know, don't you? Sawa-sensei was killed after the thugs broke into her home. All because she got involved with Kawana.
I'm aware she was killed, but this is the first I'm hearing of the reason why. And by thugs, you mean RK?
Yeah, but we don't know why they're going after Kawana. Any ideas?
No way I'd know.
You think it could be because she got mixed up in your deadly little game?
Excuse me?
That's what getting away with murder really looks like. The more you perpetuate the lie, the greater the rift you create. And then, the unthinkable happens. Kawana killed others besides Mikoshiba. You said so yourself. That's what brought the angry tiger into play. And if Sawa-sensei ended up paying for that instead, then how can you begin to believe your vengeance is fair?
Because she gave false testimony. She lied in court to say Toshiro was never bullied.
She couldn't name Mikoshiba, who was a minor at the time, without evidence. What's more, she was haunted by her testimony. Always second-guessing.
You heard
she did
it
the
that
right
she was
thing.
haunted by her testimony.
But now she's been killed. Somehow that's acceptable to you? I'm gonna clear up what happened to Sawa-sensei. Just like you did for Toshiro-kun.
How?
By going public with everything you and Kawana did. The first step is to appeal the sexual battery and undo this whole lie.
You never groped Yui Mamiya. That's one crime you're innocent of, Ehara-san. The court's verdict was incorrect. So please give us the chance to appeal. We can prove your innocence.
What on earth would I get out of that?
You get to humiliate the court again. Besides, what are you gonna do for the next half a year in a cell?
Fine. Do what you want. But just know this.
Yes?
I have no intention of admitting to killing Mikoshiba in court. Is your appeal still worth a damn?
We won't know till we try. Let's go, Sari-san. We have client approval to proceed with the appeal. And we better act fast.
Yes, agreed.
Yagami-san. Sawa-sensei's death isn't on me.
Yes, it
Even
is.
if I have grabbed the tiger by the tail, that doesn't mean I killed her.
By that logic, you may as well admit that Mikoshiba didn't kill Toshiro-kun. You can't have it both ways. Listen to me.
Everything about you, about Kawana, about why Sawa-sensei had to die, we're gonna expose all of it. That's the only thing left we can do for her.
Yeah.
I'm going to fill Genda-sensei in on what happened. Why don't you head over to the office?
Sure thing.
Give me a moment. Okay. You head over to the office that's right here. Sure.
So then, Ihara admitted to killing Mikoshiba, did he?
Yeah, Pat Boyvin's having a baby, yeah.
He also admitted Kawana
Pat and Paige are having a kid.
That sounds like you were productive.
It's enough for us to move
In
forward
like
with the appeal.
July, I think?
How does that sound, Genda-sensei?
Genda-sensei?
The sexual battery and Mikoshiba's murder are the very same case. To clear Ihara of harassment, you'll need to prove he murdered Mikoshiba. But you don't have evidence he did, do you?
Yeah, they
was captured on video committing the murder.
She said on the podcast a couple weeks ago that like all of their recent moves were preparing for that. So
they're only saying that to cover their asses.
In reality, the sexual battery evidence against Ihara-san is what was really fake. At the very least, we can claim Yui Mamiya and the others aided in fabricating that.
You really think the courts will grant you an appeal for just that?
Are you saying that's not possible?
I wouldn't go that far. But Ihara won't admit to murdering Mikoshiba in court. Kinda significant, don't you think? So what chance do you have even if you do appeal? Without any decisive new evidence, you'll just end up splitting hairs over the original verdict. And what good'll it do other than damage your own reputation, Saru-kun?
To be honest with you, I feel like I've been deeply underestimated.
What?
Saori-san.
Yes.
You have every right to be.
Listen, Sensei. Ihara and Kawana devised this plan knowing full well they could manipulate the justice system. Have we not fallen right into their trap? If we take pity on the prosecution now, we play right into their hand.
True.
So how can we worry about reputation when our duty as lawyers is to face the law?
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, and you're right to think it, but...
And another thing. While acting as Ihara's defense in the first trial, I never truly believed the claim. I didn't trust the person I was defending, and I felt sick to my stomach even being in the courtroom. Ihara likely saw right through that. He probably took great delight in our myopic dedication to the law, and I won't stand for that.
What about you?
we should listen to Saori-san.
We should listen to Saori-san. I understand why Ihara and Kawana did what they did, but I can't condone it.
I see.
Yes. Although my motivation may not be as righteous as Saori-san's.
What do you mean?
Mikoshiba's murder, the fake groping alibi, the one behind it all was Kawana, and he's in hiding. We need to shine enough light on him that the public can see what he is, and the perfect place to do it is during Ihara's appeal hearing.
So it's not Ihara you're after, but Kawana.
If we pursue Ihara's case, Kawana-san's actions will naturally come to light.
And if we draw out Kawana, then RK and the ones backing them will make their move. Soma from RK said Sawa-sensei knew too much, which means whoever's behind them has a secret that needs to stay buried, even if it means murder. And I need to figure that secret out. I owe Sawa-sensei that closure. The only thing we can do for her now is make sure the ones pulling the strings pay for it.
Well said. I guess going back wasn't ever really an option.
Genda-sensei.
Looks like I got complacent from all the peace and quiet. Leave it to me to underestimate the younger generation.
I apologize. I shouldn't have been so impertinent.
That should be my line, Saori-kun. I suppose I have to make up my mind after all that, don't I? Get out there and do what needs to be done. And heaven help anyone in your way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello?
Tsukumo!
Are you still in Kamurocho?
Yeah, why? What's up?
I'm afraid RK seems to be amassing in Ijincho.
Are they now?
Yeah, I can't shake the
You think so? If I was Soma, I'd have left Ijincho by now.
I see.
Things are settling into place here, though. I'm heading...
Alright, let's go!
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go to Yokohama 99.
Yeah, let's go.
How lazy can I be? Very, apparently.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, now that's something.
Kuwana-san, or rather Kitakata-sensei, huh? And his students helped Ihara murder Mikoshiba. But
Yep.
there's still some things that doesn't explain. Like what? Like why does RK keep going after Kuwana-san? You think that's weird too, right, Yagami-san?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the piece of the puzzle that'll lead us to why Sawa-sensei got killed.
Why is RK at Koana?
Before they came to Ijincho, RK was originally looking for Shinya Kawai, but when they found out he might have been killed, they suddenly shifted gears to Kawana.
We can guess all we want, but that's not gonna get us anywhere. They're strengthening their numbers in
The
Ijincho.
goons at the bottom rung aren't. So if Akatsu or Soma were around, then
That's
we might.
true.
Sitting around here won't get it. I'm quick on my feet.
Yeah, don't say that, Yagami-shi.
Okay. I don't really care about all these EX attacks. Alright, well, let's go to the corner store really quick.
Hello?
It's Shirosaki.
Yeah, what's up?
I was thinking back on our interview with Ihara-san, and something he said isn't sitting right with me.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask your opinion.
Which part felt off?
The part about Kawana approaching other bullying victims besides Ihara-san to offer revenge. Ihara-san also mentioned that most of them rejected his offer, but never went to the police either.
How does he know that? Yeah.
Well, wasn't the first bully Kawana killed his own student? Shinya Kawai, I mean. Tormented by his bullies, Mitsuru Kusumoto's leap left him in a coma to this day. That event was the catalyst for Kawana's actions, so wouldn't he have approached his parents about revenge too?
Mitsuru Kusumoto's parents? You're talking about his mother, Reiko Kusumoto, right?
The Ministry of Health, Vice
Yes,
Minister.
who is currently Vice Minister of the Ministry. If she accepted or is even an accessory to a revenge plot against Kawai, then there's no way she'd ever want that secret to get out. With her level of influence and power, which would explain how RK's actions are...
And you think it's Reiko Kusumoto?
You don't think Vice Ministers can control criminal organizations?
Yeah. Tsukumo's actually looked into her before. Yeah, this is genius, Sari-san.
Quite a compliment coming from you.
And it's her. It's too fucking perfect, and it's her. I just fucking realized. RK is her initials. How did I not think of that before? How did I not see that before? How did I not see that?
That was quick.
Well, the day's not over yet. She might be the one behind RK.
Really?
Yeah. Can you pull up the picture of her you showed me last time?
Okay. Take a look at this, Yagamishi. Reiko Kusumoto became vice minister just recently.
Yep.
It hasn't even been a full year yet.
Looks like she's still got a good rep.
Yeah, there's almost no criticism of her out there.
The Ministry Revolution. Bucking the bureaucracy. Golden parachutes don't fly with Kusumoto. Vice Minister's pretty high up there, yeah?
Big time. If she really did take Kawana up on his offer, silencing him would be the quickest way to save her skin. And in that case, she'd need some kind of connection to RK.
Some kind of connection? A bit vague, no?
Fair enough, but RK already took an innocent life while hunting Kawana down.
Right. And after killing Sawa-sensei, they tried to kill me, too. Still, no matter how dangerous the gang, murder is a risky proposition. Then again, if someone's pulling the strings, they have a lot less to worry about. Especially if that someone has vice minister status.
Well, the internet's not gonna give us much else. How about we do our usual thing? Go straight to the source.
Tell Ryan about the engage gotcha.
Would it really be that easy to get a meeting with someone like her?
Mitsuru Kusumoto's still in a coma, right?
I barely used it.
If he's in a hospital, we can
Because of how
capture
early I
supplies
got the
there.
DLC.
I get you. That might work.
Huh. What's this now?
What's what now?
Breaking news from the net. It says manhunt for Sawa-sensei's murderer.
And?
It's hitting the network news too. The person they're after is...
Wanted for the murder of private school teacher Yoko Sawa in her own apartment, Kanagawa PD is conducting a search for the suspect, self-proclaimed handyman Yu Kitakata.
Why are they looking for Kawana?
Shouldn't they be after Soma?
Sawa-san's former teacher before and after the incident. It's also surfaced that he's been using a false identity for over a decade. The police are hopeful that their search will turn up some sort of connection to Sawa-san.
Oh, this is fucking sketchy as shit.
If Kawana-san was caught on camera, then surely some RK thugs were as well?
Yeah, I think so. On that note, I should have been in the footage too. The police only seem to want Kawana. But why?
Ask who?
Detective Watanabe from Kanagawa PD.
Been a while, hotshot.
Yeah, I guess it has. Hey, I'm curious. Do you have any evidence that Kawana killed Sawa-sensei?
I take it you saw the news. Kawana was caught on camera near the crime scene, plus he knew the victim. And if that's not enough...
And I saw Soma holding an ice pick up to Sawa-sensei. Plus, there were RK footprints all over the scene. So why is Kawana the only suspect?
Because the big boys with big balls at HQ said so. Barking at me won't get you anywhere.
So this is all just pressure from upstairs?
Why are you so bent out of shape? Kawana's a legitimate suspect, and all we're doing is following procedure.
No, you're not.
Take your private investigator schnoz somewhere else.
You know, you sound pretty bent out of shape yourself.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking maybe we could meet up. How's a free pass to bitch about your work sound? Abe-san?
On the phone, in person, there's nothing I can tell you.
He hung up.
Yagamishi, I managed to focus in on the background noise from your phone call. Despite all the interference,
What?
He's
Seriously?
on the main drag in Chinatown. If you go now, I'm sure you'll find him.
But is he even gonna listen to you?
It won't matter if I miss him because we sat here wondering.
Yagami Detective Agent.
Okay. Yeah, the big boys. So the Ministry... Oh, the Minister of Health is in on it again. They can't keep that seat clean in this universe. Everybody who has the Minister of Health title's gotta do a bad, apparently. She used her own personal gang to take out Sawa Sensei, and now they're pinning it on Kawana. Yeah, Kawana's an asshole. He's killed people. But he didn't kill Sawa Sensei. We know who killed Sawa Sensei. We fucking saw him do it. We saw him hold the ice pick to her.
Yagami, why
Oh,
are you...
hey, Nabe.
Sakurai.
Oh, right.
I take it you didn't just have...
Let's just say some friends of mine have a real keen sense of smell.
Excuse me, pal?
The Sawa case. Why aren't you going after RK? Or are you, and you're just keeping me in the dark?
This isn't the place to talk about that. What the... Hey!
I get the feeling something's keeping you guys from doing your jobs.
You want to say that again?
Sakurai, I gotta hit the can.
Huh?
Need to take a piss, Yagami? You're looking hydrated.
Yeah, good call.
Then let's.
Damn. What's he up to?
He's gonna tell him the truth.
Nice spot you brought me to. Do the cops really believe Kawana is responsible for Sawa Sensei's death?
We wouldn't be looking for him if we weren't serious. We even have a warrant.
To arrest Kawana?
His real name's Yu Kitakata. He's been using a fake. And he services right at the murder scene of his former student. In my eyes, he would...
What about Soma from RK? He should have been spotted on the nearby cameras, too.
He wasn't.
How is that possible?
Let me rephrase. There's no footage that had RK anywhere near it.
What's that supposed to mean?
From the moment Mikoshiba's murder went down, the higher-ups have been busy playing politics. I had a handle on things when they were just competing with Tokyo PD over who got to grill Ihara. But after that murder footage came out, it really stirred shit up. Sawa Sensei's case has me scratching my head too. Someone at the top is trying to keep details under wraps. And they think it'll work even in this day and age.
You're saying the whole force is in on a cover-up?
It started with the footage surrounding Sawa's apartment. Someone on the inside erased it. Any footage that had the RK guys tagged in it is totally wiped.
Erase the footage? Are you serious?
Yep.
Yeah. You heard me. Kawana leaving her place is all that's left. Even the parts where you show up are long gone. Before and after, the only person that the cameras pin the crime on is Kawana himself.
Who would go so far to erase the footage? Who would do something like that?
It's time to let it go, Yagami. Mikoshiba's case and Sawa-sensei's case, they're closing the book. And to tie up the loose ends, and this is the shitty part, Kuwana has to die in an accident.
What?
As soon as they track him down, they'll put him into custody and then blame it on negligence. They'll say he resisted arrest and died in the struggle, I guess. Someone clearly wants Kuwana gone, and they have the power to do it.
Come on. Who could have that power?
The Minister of Health?
Clearly a target of someone higher up. Even if he sees it coming, he won't be able to stop it. As far as I'm concerned, the case is closed. You wouldn't understand until you've been on the force. When the team you're playing for is rotten to the core, all you can do is look the other way. As for me, I'll stick to the cut and dry cases for a while. That's what'll keep me an honest cop.
That's bullshit! You'll shut the lid on the trash, ignore the smell of the rot coming from inside, and go on pretending it's justice? And then you call that being an honest cop?
Asshole. Did you forget that you were talking to a detective?
Oh, we're fighting him?
You never did answer the question, Nami-san. Who had the authority to erase the security cameras?
Okay.
Who wants Kuwana dead so bad that they do it inside?
Even if I told you, what the fuck could you do about it, detective? Smartass!
More than you, apparently.
Leave it alone, Yagami. It's for your own good.
Is that your call? Well, I think I'll be the judge of that.
You little piece of shit! I've had enough!
Alright, time to kick your ass, I guess, bro. Oh shit, he actually does like a ton of damage.
I think it's time you cooled off. Have a drink.
Well, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, that's bullshit.
Dead son of a bitch.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. What the fuck? This is horse shit. Fuck you, game. I'm not doing easy difficulty.
no.
Fucking QTEs, man. Alright, time to use the same spammy bullshit that I did before. Sure, I was guarding and he got to hit me, sure. I literally used the same EX action on him 6 times in a row. What of it?
They broke the lock and forced their way into Sawa-sensei's place. That's when Soma came in. I'm sure she was terrified. They were pointing an ice pick at her. When I found her, her eyes were still open. I could see the tears. Yet the police are going after Kawana instead of Soma. And the cops that were there know he isn't a suspect, but say their hands are tied. So it'll be my voice you hear instead of hers. And when they come to silence me, I'll know who the puppet masters are.
I have no shame. I will use the same EX attack 6 times in a row.
Probably right.
And if you have any idea who might be pulling the strings, I need you to tell me before it's too late.
It's the Minister of Health.
Is there anyone on the force who would want Kawana dead?
The moment we opened Sawa-sensei's case, the Kanagawa brass had a suspect file ready to go. They didn't point to your guy Soma. They named you Kitakata, alias Kawana the handyman. Hilarious, isn't it? You were the first to the scene, which means the bigwigs pulled a suspect file before it even happened.
Where'd the info about Kitakata come from?
Not sure, but the National Police Agency said it came from public security.
Public security?
They don't hurt criminals such as gather
Why is
insult.
public security involved in Sawa-sensei's case?
Seems they were interested in RK's criminal network in Kamurocho. You know how after the Tojo clan disbanded, the criminals started going underground? Well, public security would rather let RK roam free than bust them. Monitoring them quietly gives them intel on criminal movements. And even if you catch these guys, new ones will just take their place.
Wait, so they want RK on the streets? Is that why they're brushing Sawa-sensei's case under the rug?
If RK goes down in one fell swoop over a murder case, they have to find a new source of intel. Purely speaking, from public security's point of view, that is.
Unbelievable.
Not that they'd ever say that out in, well, public. If you believe public security, there's no way RK killed Sawa-sensei.
What the hell? Do they even have a reason?
Not that I'm aware.
Probably not.
On top of that, I asked Tokyo PD about Soma. He doesn't have a record. No priors, no census registry, not even a damn profile pic.
Then, what does that mean?
The man known as Kazuki Soma doesn't exist, basically. Maybe that's how it's always been, or maybe it's a cover-up. They had plenty of files on Kuwana to send our way instead. They're the ones who made him the prime suspect in Sawa-sensei's case, too.
That doesn't make any sense.
Look, Kuwana's a scapegoat for RK. Public security wants to shut the curtains on Sawa-sensei's case with him. As far as they're concerned, with Kuwana silenced, it'll all balance out.
So that's what you meant by Kuwana having an accident.
Right. Better to flush your shit than keep a lid on it.
I'm trying to double check something really quick. That man don't
so
talk.
Who's running
Yeah.
the show in public security? Do they have a name?
I wasn't told, unfortunately. Afraid I'm further down the food chain than you thought. Yeah, Watanabe speaking. Jincho.
Huh?
Right. Got it. One has been spotted.
Seriously?
Couldn't say for sure.
Where's he at?
Fukutokucho, in Koreatown, where the Komi Jewel hang out. The police are headed there now.
Komi Jewel?
Apparently it means spider web in Korean. You haven't seen it? It's made to look like it's abandoned.
And Kawana's there?
You're not gonna say you got that from me, right?
I don't have much time. You said Kawana might have an accident, didn't you? I'm sure that's why you're telling me all this.
If you find him, let him know it's public security that's after him. And they mean business.
Okay. Wow, we're still on chapter 10. Honestly, sometimes, like, the one thing I will give criticism for Judgment for, they really should use chapter breaks more often than they do. Like, there was just a boss fight. There would have been a great time to do a chapter break. Like, it's okay to have more than 12 chapters.
Yagamishi, it's me. I have an update for you.
Yeah, and Komi...
Ah, fastidious as ever.
Already?
They're probably gonna surround the area and...
Public
An accident?
Long...
I most certainly can. In the meantime, I'll be monitoring the...
Appreciate that.
This is Tsukumo. Yagami-shi?
Hey.
Indeed you are.
Then you'll notice the cops block...
Not to worry.
Alright, let's go. Wait,
Can you see the white car?
Yeah, I can.
There's a really small gap on the side of the car. It'll be a tight squeeze, I'm sure.
Yeah, but...
You can leave that.
The stealth sections in this game are really weird.
Tsukumo, where should I go?
Komi Jewel proper seems to be located behind those construction fences. There's one door in the fence.
Tsukumo, can I get a hand?
Just leave it to me.
I see now.
Alright, let's go. We're in the Gomi Jewel.
Tsukumo, keep navigating for me. Huh?
Yep, technical difficulties.
Kitakata-sensei! Show yourself! Relax with the yelling, will you? You're giving away our location. How am I supposed to relax? This shit's intense!
Shh.
Sugiura?
Didn't Tsukumo-kun tell you our...
Yeah.
Yagami-san.
Does that mean Ark?
No, not exactly. I just saw some cops let RK guys through. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
Cops let RK guys through? Yeah, that's not a
Some cops
mistake.
are working with RK.
But why?
Someone in authority on the force is trying to get rid of Kawana. So they want him to have an accident.
What? That's off the scale insane.
Insane or not, I need to get to Kawana before RK or the cops do. You know?
I don't. Come to think of it...
Good question. Aren't there people from Komi Jewel here? Maybe we can ask them where Kawana is.
Worth a shot.
All right.
Looks like a lot of RK muscle to me, Yagami-san.
Yeah, but if that many are out searching, silver line.
True. I don't see anywhere else we can go. So let's go up those stairs.
This is giving me bad vibes from the Gomi Jewel chapter in Like a Dragon.
Yagami-san, we've got RK coming in from below too.
Let's find another.
I don't know what it's asking for me to look for.
Hey, what the?
All right, parkour time. Let's go.
There we go.
Damn.
Hardcore parkour. The parkour, the stealth sections that they had in this game are just strange. What the hell? Yeah, it doesn't really fit with RJG systems that they already have in place. Just like the investigating doesn't super fit. It's still way better than this. Oh, come the fuck on. Because of stuff like that. The system is not meant for precise movements. It's just really not. Really? You can't make a simple jump like that, Yagami? Like, this is not Uncharted. Yagami is not Nathan Drake. Yeah, now I made it. This is silly.
Good work, Yagami-san.
Yo, you guys are Komi Jewel, aren't you?
Huh?
Komi Jewel?
What's going on here, man? This
Yagami-san.
I'd rather not have to bullshit that.
So...
Yeah.
Let's go.
Alright, let's go. Why does he get up like he's an old man in snake form? Jeepy. Like, it's okay, I can heal after the cutscene.
Yagami-san, looks like the top floor is up ahead. There's a room on this side too, though.
Just really weird. Why is there like a random save point here? Like, yeah, there's probably a boss. Like, I get that, but like, it's just like they've never done like. RGG has this weird habit of doing weird things in their games and then just never doing them again. Stuff like that. Like, why do you have to have just a save point?
Sign of Kawana-san, but are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Like, why is there just a save point there? It's not like a place to rest. It's just a save point. They like
Where's
so.
this fucking guy? It's just taking forever.
So far, they literally have never had a save point before a boss fight like that.
Got it wrong.
Hey, look! It's the room where we beat. It's the room where we fought Cosmic Kiryu.
Let's find out what our. Well, I only count 4 of them. Okay. Hello, gentlemen.
Huh? You with the Komi Jewel?
Wow. They don't even recognize you, Yagami-san?
Well, that's kind of sad.
What's going on here?
Huh?
Yagami-san?
Yagami? Hey, a detective? Just get him! Fuck yeah. Let's get it started.
You'll wish you hadn't.
It's fine. I can take on most of them. Geez, what are you doing over there, Segura? You just having a nap? That's bullshit. Like, I literally was running away and he just, like, gets to track me. I'm literally trying to run. I'm literally trying to run, and the game just like lets the boss track me from halfway across the room.
That all you got? You guys came looking for Kuwana, right? What were you gonna do to him?
We were just told to catch him. Not sure what comes after that.
You sure the plan wasn't to kill him?
I said I don't know!
Who gave the order here? Soma?
It was Akusa-san. Probably on Soma-san's orders, though.
Hey, Yagami-san?
More dudes.
Hey, how come
Great.
Jincho has so many creepy masks?
I was just gonna ask you.
Kuwana's not here.
Huh?
That intel was fake. We were the ones who put it out.
You live here? Then you must be Komicho.
Normally, it's us hiring the handyman. But this time, it was Kuwana asking the favor.
Huh? To put out false information?
Yes. He said he wanted to see what kind of enemy he was dealing with, and how they'd respond to an eyewitness report. Seeing as how easy police info made its way to these thugs, I'd say he was wise to use caution. Were he any closer, he would have been ensnared by now.
So Kawana's nearby, watching everything unfold as we speak? He's really in a Jincho then?
We'll have to clear the room to discuss that.
Hey! Why are you looking at me?
Sorry.
Why are you looking at me? Knock him out.
Kuwana's return to Ijincho. There are benefits to being here that only he can exploit.
Where's he hiding out?
Under the protection of Tesso from the Yokohama Ryomon. But you're cleared to see him. We already took care of that.
Kawana actually said he'd meet us?
Come on. There's a way through the cops don't know. You can get out to the city from there.
That'd be helpful, thanks.
Guess you're not so bad after all.
Bear in mind, you may not leave alive if you come back. You were never welcome here.
And never mind. So, where do we find Kuwana-san?
I'm sure the Ryomon will lead us to him. Just so happens I've got a brother there named Tesso.
Oh, what?
Now let's get there before Kuwana.
Just gonna go take and eat.
Starving. Now we're talking. Pretty tasty, thanks.
ありがとうございました。
Greg Chun is such a Greg Chun is such a good Yakuza protagonist in Judgment. It's a real damn shame that there's not ever going to be a third Judgment game. Because I feel like with a bit more...
Will you be coming inside?
Sure. Let
This
me
way,
pat.
Yeah, it's funny if they call him Yagami Aniki because he fucking beat Tesla's ass twice. So funny.
Bro, hey man. Welcome back, friends. Tesso Aniki? Do I have to call you that?
Take a seat. And you too, buddy.
This'll be fun.
Oh, hey, it's
Which of your names should we
Kawana.
be using for you now? Kawana? Or do you prefer Kitakata-sensei?
Kitakata's a name that's been all but murdered by society. And in Jincho, I'm just a merry old handyman Kawana-san.
If you ask the cops, you're the murder suspect Kitakata. After killing Sawa-sensei, you fled the scene. At least, that's the story the police top brass are passing down through the ranks. Now, why would they say something like that about you?
Calm down, Yagami. How come you never relax?
So Kawana hired you guys from the start, and you pretended to not know each other in front of me? If that's the case, you really went all out for me.
Didn't I tell you? The Liumang accepts anonymous requests too. Tesso didn't know I was the one who hired him. I suppose there's no point in hiding that now.
That's just how it is. Nothing to get mad over, bro.
You really aren't hiding anything? Did you tell him all you've done?
He's a former high school teacher who's going around killing bullies. Can't be much more to hide than that. Need any more convincing?
Honestly, I'm at a loss. I worked my ass off to get where you are.
And I'm still trying to untangle the mess you've made of it. You've got my student helpers by the throats, so I'm really backed into a corner here.
You mean the graduates from Kurokawa Academy? Like Mamiya-san?
Very good, Sugiura-kun. So how about it? No reason for us to doubt each other's intentions, right?
I don't know,
All
man.
the secrets are out in the open now.
No, not really.
Then I'm gonna light up.
You were just over at Komijua, weren't you? RK was looking for me there. The police even lent them a hand.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm even more confused. I give up. Who in the world could be after me? Who has influence over both RK and the police?
Care to
The
venture a
Minister of Health.
They'd be the uneducated guesses of a handyman. You got any bright ideas?
He's gonna officially
yourself,
mastered the art of bunch of dudes sit around and talk with the tensions off the
I have
charts.
a pretty good theory for you.
Oh? Who?
The Public Security Division. That's what a detective from Kanagawa PD said. According to them, you're the prime suspect in Sawa-sensei's murder. That's why Kanagawa PD was told to lay off RK. Any trace of RK in the footage near Sawa-sensei's place is gone. Likely Public Security's work. And
I
with that
still
kind
need.
of backup,
I need to
it's
finish. I'll
understandable
probably
why
get to
RK
finish.
is so
I'll probably try to finish.
Yo, hold
tomorrow.
up again.
Between
Why
tonight
is
and
public
tomorrow.
security after Kawana in the first place?
Public Security is probably working for Reiko Kusamoto, Vice Minister of the Ministry of Health.
What?
Kawana, you had your students kidnap Shinya Kawai, right? 5 years ago in Kamurocho? Kawai bullied Reiko Kusamoto's son, Mitsuru-kun. But before you took Kawai out, you approached Reiko Kusamoto with your revenge offer, didn't you? Ahara told us that. Before taking revenge on a bully, you'd approach the family about it first. Did you make the same offer to Reiko Kusamoto?
What if I did?
She's the Vice Minister of the Ministry of Health. She's pretty popular. She's even cleaning up her predecessor's mess. If it were to surface that she agreed to a revenge killing, they'd have yet another massive scandal on their hands. And if you get to go down in cuffs instead of a body bag, that detail may just come out. Before that can happen, Reiko Kusamoto plans to
Have me silenced and use public security to do it.
Exactly.
Sounds about right.
Except
Yeah.
public security can't just go after you, so they subcontracted RK to do the dirty work. That would explain why public security is trying to cover for RK.
I see. Well, the logic starts off soundly enough.
Something wrong with it?
Unfortunately, yes. Something does stick out.
And what's that?
I did, in fact, approach Kusamoto-san 5 years ago about taking revenge on Shinya Kawai. And just as you said, I used Mamiya-kun and the others to kidnap Kawai.
And?
From that point on, Kusamoto-san knew I was directing Mamiya-kun and the others. She'd seen their faces. knew their identities, everything. So, if Kusumoto-san wanted to go after me, Mamiya-kun and the others would be first on the list. But the fact is, which means Kusumoto-san isn't the one giving them orders.
Sure, that makes some sense.
Hey, so sorry if this is off topic, but what was Kusumoto-san doing when Shinya Kawai was killed 5 years back?
She was standing right there with me. Afterwards, she took 3 days of PTO, and that was a first for her.
Why?
Shinya Kawai died at the hands of Kusumoto-san. She drove the knife into his chest personally. She took it slow, making sure he suffered the whole time. Just like Akihiro Ehara.
Jesus Christ.
She avenged her son with her own 2 hands.
She killed Kawai herself?
What the
Afterward,
fuck?
she told me she'd never wash the smell of his blood off her hands.
Damn, man.
I was the only one who knew that, by the way. The others have no idea.
That's
On that
why
day,
she's going
5
after
years ago,
Kawai.
I sent them straight home
That-
after they brought me Kawai.
That's
And
why.
I was the only one with Kusumoto-san when she killed him.
That's why
Sounds
Kusumoto
way too
is
crazy
going
to be
over. Is going for him.
Even so, the fact is, Kusumoto-san hasn't betrayed me. Besides, I doubt the Vice Minister
Then
is
who
powerful.
is giving them their orders?
Well, I'd say I'm sure Public Security contracted RK. It lines up with what's happened so far. I imagine they're so persistent because they know I can be used against Kusumoto-san.
Either way, whoever's pulling the strings is someone who'll benefit from your capture. So if it isn't Reiko Kusumoto, maybe it's one of her enemies?
An enemy?
Yeah, like someone within the Ministry of Health. Or maybe even some kind of political rival. Nothing would be more valuable to them than dirt on Kusumoto, right? They're probably trying to take her down.
Then why
Or
kill Kawai?
They could
Then why
threaten
kill
and manipulate her as they see
Kawano?
fit. Is that why public security's been taking action? If they wanted to take her down, they could have had the police investigate her fair and square.
I was saying an arcane public security must be an enemy of Reiko Kusumoto.
Right. Kusumoto-san can walk away from the Ministry of Health anytime she wants. Plus, she has the public's support, especially with the younger crowds. All just more reasons for her to have enemies.
I read some article about how even the Prime Minister has a hard time with her. Like, she'll get up in his face every time he signs an order. Dumbass loses so many arguments, he practically works for her now.
So the Prime Minister's trying to find some dirt on Reiko Kusumoto?
He's just an example. Weren't you listening when we said Kusumoto-san has lots of enemies in her position?
Hey, don't be a dick.
So whoever's behind this may have been looking for a weakness in Kusumoto-san for a while. They must have got their start after realizing Ehara's case was really about getting revenge on a bully. That puts Ehara and Reiko Kusumoto in the same boat, being that their only sons were bullying victims. And if they discovered that Kawai also vanished 5 years ago.
Regardless, that wouldn't account for the rest of the incidents where a bully ended up dead. You'd know. You're the one going up and down the whole country killing them off, aren't you? Kawai makes number 7.
7? Damn, man.
It wouldn't take much to connect the dots. It'd lead straight to her. Reiko Kusumoto. Then they'd know that she was among the victims who got her revenge.
Yeah. And then, to Ehara's case, the link between him and Kusumoto is clear as day now if you know what you're looking for.
Yep.
That link is Sawa-sensei. It took me a while, but I connected the 2 cases together myself. It was RK. She never should have even been on their radar. In fact, they traced your name from her. Sawa-sensei knew. She suspected you were involved with the Mikoshiba murder in one way or another, right? You don't care. You see your killing spree on these former bullies like you're doing the country a service. In your eyes, this is vengeance. Actually, no. You'd call it justice, wouldn't you? Except, Sawa-sensei wouldn't have died if it was.
That was never my intent. She shouldn't have died.
No. You don't get to just brush her off like that. Like an afterthought. You had to have known you'd go down for this eventually. And you're fine if all your old students like you and Mamiya go down with you. By then,
We're gonna fight him again?
why would you look back at your trail of blood? Why would you clean up all your carnage? It's not your problem, right? You move forward with one purpose. Send as many bullies to hell as you can. Beyond that, you don't give a shit what happens. Sawa-sensei died in tears. You didn't see what I saw. The fear she must have felt was still frozen on her face. You, Ihara, Reiko Kusamoto, you're all murderers. And so far, all of you have gotten away with it. So why did Yokosawa end up having to pay the price? Tell me, will you even be able to look her in the eye when you die?
I doubt it. That's gonna follow me well into the afterlife. So what now, then? March to the cops and turn myself in?
You should. If you don't do exactly that, no one will know why she had to die, and that'll be the end of her story. Everyone will keep on dancing around her death, even though she was completely innocent. Just like the cops are doing.
Afraid I can't do that. If I turn myself in now, there's only one thing that happens. Public security takes me out. And worse, Reiko Kusamoto would be compromised. And that, I will never allow to happen. Of all the people involved in this, she deserves to walk free. Her revenge was justified.
You think so?
All
Was
she
it?
did was scrape off the scum of the earth that pushed her only son into an attempted suicide. She didn't sit around crying about a legal miscarriage. She took justice into her own hands. No one has any right to indict her for that. So don't go there. Nobody lays a finger on her.
Hey, skinny ginger kid. Looks like this is gonna turn into a little more than a chat.
Good thinking.
Yeah, we're fighting him.
So is your plan to kill me too? Anyone who interferes with your justice, we all get added to your body.
I have a feeling he's gonna be the final boss.
Punishment fits the crime. You're just blind.
Skinny ginger kid.
If you can't see that, then you can go to hell.
God, we're gonna have 3 boss fights with him. There's no way he's not the final boss also too, right? This can't be his last boss fight. God, the snake form is good, except when you get knocked down. It sucks. It sucks so bad because he just falls like a big bag of fucking rocks. And then he basically refuses to get up. And there's no Okay. Come on. It's like he just like forgets how to fight when he gets hit. God, the fucking camera's not doing me any favors either right now. That counter hit does so much damage.
How long has this been going now?
I lost track.
Call it?
Nah. They're gonna tire out eventually. Beating the shit out of each other is the way some people communicate.
I can see that.
There we go. Now let's stop them.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Haven't you had enough yet?
What? You think it's time to give it a rest?
Hell no. Stay out of our way.
You can't even stand, dude.
You got lucky I stopped when I did, you know. I had a move lined up with your name on it.
You're the one who got lucky as far as I'm concerned. I was about to kick your ass.
Yeah, just like you were kicking my ass before. Got it.
Mess, guys.
What a fucking mess. I mean, you're pretty sure I'm right about that. It's Joe! It's Joe! It's Joe!
Eat. Your food's getting cold.
It's Joe!
Rob's cooked this himself. It won't look good if there's any left.
Not a problem. This stuff's great.
I mean, it's a 12-episode anime.
Delicious.
So that means Reiko Kusamoto could be being targeted by public security.
Right. It's possible part of the police wants to catch me as leverage against Kusumoto-san on public security.
13, whatever, you know what I mean.
But
It's a
that's
one
only
season.
if public security really is behind this.
It's a one-season
You're the one
anime,
who said
whatever.
you got that info from a cop.
Well, someone up top's been putting pressure on the investigation. But no matter how you slice it, the fact that you're enemy number one while RK roams free is absurd. Unfortunately, all I got out of that cop was that public security itself is who we're up against.
Public security is Japan's top intelligence agency.
Agreed.
Then I guess now's a good time to make a suggestion.
Huh?
Tell me, who benefits? That by the time you notice, it's too late. They've got you. And that's exactly what they'd want, right? But what if you two work together? You watch each other's backs and act before RK and public security do. You might even be able to find out who's pulling the strings.
Huh. Yeah. For two enemies to join forces, there needs to be an even greater threat to fight.
Sure. I'm on board with that.
Fine, but this is only temporary. Once we finish with public security, I'm gonna make sure you answer for what you've done.
Okay, then where do we start?
No. First, we need to confirm public security is really the enemy we're after.
Right. We'll make our move after that.
We have the element of surprise.
Then we'll use it to our advantage and outsmart them. If public security's trying to find some leverage against Kusumoto-san, they'll likely be listening in on her. They're the experts in wiretapping and espionage, after all.
How?
We'll just give her a call.
Right here?
Yes. That way, her enemy will trace the call and pinpoint our location. And public security is the only one in Japan.
Yeah. You saying if you call up Reiko Kusumoto, then the bad guys will start pouring in? We maybe not do that here?
Actually.
Huh?
Yagami-san, you sure about getting on bro terms without Kaito-san?
Whoa. This is amazing. What is this?
Good shit, huh? You've got good taste, bro.
5 years ago, on the night she killed Kawai.
So you have her number?
If it hasn't changed.
What is it
What?
then? We're gonna set a trap to find out if we really are up against public security. If they trace the call and they send people for us, then we know for sure it's them. That's why we're gonna call Reiko Kusumoto using a location that doesn't exist at all.
How's that work?
We'll use 2 phones that can't be traced back to us, and we'll relay your voice. Obviously you won't be wherever we do this from. Best to do this someplace with no one around. Once we see who they send in, mission accomplished.
Wait, what's happening?
Don't worry, I got it.
First, we need to know our enemy.
Which means a truce for the time being?
Only while you're here. Gotta keep things civil for my brother.
Man, Zhao-san's cooking makes even the suckiest situations not suck.
Cheers to
I
that.
can't believe Zhao gets a fucking cameo.
Hey, so Tsukumo-kun's already got the phones ready. They're burners that can't be traced back to us.
2 of them, right?
Just like you asked for.
Nicely done, Yokohama 99.
And that is it for me for tonight. It is getting late. I will be back on Saturday for a bit, probably. And then we'll figure it out from there. I was thinking of streaming Sunday. I won't be streaming Sunday unless it's like late. Because like my aunt is moving and I gotta go, so that means I gotta go visit her before her move. I do have the Star Wars marathon I'm supposed to be doing this weekend, but that shouldn't really prevent me from streaming if I flesh tube it. I'll figure it out. Yeah, so we'll figure out what we're doing. If I'm free, we'll do anime night. If it's like if there's a chance I'm probably too exhausted to stream, so then we'll probably just do anime night. I don't know. Anyway, I'm done for today. We'll see you guys whenever I stream next. Thanks for coming. We're gonna raid Avier because Avier's doing Fire Emblem Engage. And he's doing the maddening run, so we'll see that, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.